this is Lower Potato, and this is what if Shinra had special generations? And of course, we're still gonna have this as the dollar burst, but not the point. Uh, Let me mention something. This thumbnail was made on April the 20th, so yeah, it was like about 2 months ago. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, probably 4 months old. Since well, I didn't actually like make the what if on that day because I forgot almost everything on Fire Force because I didn't really watch it that much. But yeah, or even read the manga. Unlike Black Clover, since I did read the manga, but I didn't watch the show. Okay, you see here, it's also similar with what's it called, Demon Slayer. I have read the manga, like all of it, like all the way to the end, about like 2 years ago, and I have never watched the anime. So yeah, ooh dog. I'm just kidding, but I even say ooh dog. There's actually a dog outside, but yeah, it's like a weenie dog that always keeps going to my house for some reason. It's like a mixture of a weenie dog and a chihuahua. I don't know. Not the point. Why am I actually talking about the dog? Now, you're probably here to watch the what if and not me talk about the dog. Even though the dog is adorable. Any dog is adorable to me, okay? Leave me alone. I like animals. Not the point. Shut the fuck up, Potato. God damn it. Let me go into this goddamn what if. Let me shut up. So, Asta. You fucking idiot, you Potato. No, Shinra. Shinra has 2 special, what's it called, generations. He still has his Adola burst. And yeah, let me just begin into this what if now. So, of course, we go into the very, very beginning of, well, Shinra's life. When not Shinra's life. When Shinra is kind of, well, he's not technically into the Fire Force like not Fire Force generation. He's not really into the Fire Force being a hero or anything. He doesn't really feel like being a hero. He just wants to find out what happened to his parents. Well, his mother, and his brother. So, of course, he's not technically into, like, the Fire Force kind of, like, station or anything. He's not really, like, trained to be a hero or anything like that. He's just a normal civilian. Kind of ran away from some laboratories because he didn't want to deal with shit like that. But we go into, well, the Fire Force 8 kind of dealing with an Infernal at the station. This is where, well, Sister Iris was done praying, and this is where Maki says, "Good job, Sister Iris." And Sister Iris says, "Yeah, thank you." This is where, well, something is launched just past him, like someone with kind of like black but whitish hair. Yes, this person has black and whitish hair. Kind of shows to have reddish eyes, but at the same time has a tint of blue and kind of like crackling blue a little bit. And of course, this person just like lands. Of course, he has a black tank top. White kind of like white, not white, kind of grayish, like what's it called? Like grayish sweatpants, and of course has like some shoes on. Well, technically not no shoes exactly because it kind of burnt off. This is called Shinra. Yes, Shinra kind of looks completely different from the original canon. That's just because, well, the fact that he kind of got some white hair. From the fact that, you know how, what they call Shinra's brother has white hair? I'm guessing that's from their father. I haven't actually read the manga, so leave me alone. And I'm still kind of watching the anime. But, yeah. But, of course, where, well, Shinra has a little bit of, I'm going to just say his father's, or just a mutation. But, yeah. Of course, where, well, Shinra kind of just like, he was like thrown back. That's why he was flown back towards Company 8. And that's why he landed on his like feet. He was kind of rolling until he landed on his feet and his hand. That's where he kind of just grabbed the ground to kind of like use his fingers, nails to kind of like claw into the ground. Of course, when he looks up, he sees the Infernal that kicked his ass to pushing him over here. This is where everyone takes, damn it, another Infernal. This is where the Infernal is going, or whatever, is going crazy. This is where Sister Iris was the one in the back. And of course, she was actually the first target that the Infernal went after. This is where, well, Obi and even the lieutenant says, Sister Iris! This is where Maki tries to protect her by trying to grab her. But this is where Shinra appears faster. Right now putting like fire, well, mostly the Atola burst, the fire around his feet, going faster. And this is where he puts both of his hands into, well, into a cross. And this is where, well, not a cross, mostly he grabs Sister Iris from the waist. And this is where, well, he then puts his arm, well, one of his arms, I'll say his right arm, up. But this is where, well, it kind of like, when he puts it up, it's only to attempt to kind of try to block it and then push it out of the way. Try to push the Infernal out of the way. Because he was kind of there to try to protect Sister Iris. He's not a hero he's not really much of a hero, he just kind a little bit. But yeah, I'll mention why he's kind. This is where, well, when Sister Iris was kind of grabbed from the waist, she actually blushed because first, no one actually ever did grab her from the waist because everyone respects her as the sister and then what's called nun and all that. But of course, where I should mention that Shinra isn't like 5'8", he's a little bit like 5'9" now. And this one, he's kind of taller than his original canon itself. This is where, well, he kind of grabs Sister Iris. And of course, this is where he blocks the punch from the Infernal. Of course, Shinra kind of squeezes out a little bit of pain and all that because that punch was very powerful. This is where, well, he didn't mind. And this is where Sister Iris this is where Shinra kind of like twisted his arm to the side. This is where he uses still the right arm to grab the Infernal and then like pull him in. So this is where Shinra can fucking knee him in the face. Like, knee him in the face and push him away. This is where, well, Sister Iris is like, this is where, well, everyone was shocked. This is where Asta, who seemed to not be tired, his arm does seem to be kind of shattered. But this is where he can still move it, but it hurts a little bit when he moves it. This is where he kind of lets go of Sister Iris' like waist and all that and says, "Are you okay?" This is where Sister Iris says, "Yeah, but are you?" "I'm fine." This is where, well, what's it called? Shinra does know about the praise and all that for people to be kind of put out. This is where Shinra says, "Can you do a pray for the man?" This is where, well, Sister Iris says, "Yes. May the Lord be a blah blah blah." She kind of says the same thing for like the first one that they fought. This is where, well, this is where Shinra is rushing towards the man and saying, "May your soul go back to heaven, Mr. Tamaki." Or not Tamaki, not Tamaki. What am I actually gonna call this guy? Mostly, Shinra does know about this man because it was a man that he was traveling with. I'm gonna say Toyoko. So, Asa says, well, not Asa, Shinra says, "Go back to the world of heaven, Toyoko." Sorry about this. This is where not Asa. Shinra shoved his hand into like a flat jab hand. Very, like, his hand was flat and he just shoved it into what's it called? The Infernal's like chest. And of course, this is where he took out his hand and there was a giant hole. And this is where the Infernal is burning up and dying. This is where, well, the person that, well, Shinra sees in front of him, like a spirit kind of appears, saying, "Thank you, Shinra." Sorry about that. You're short. He like passed away. Well, he was trying to say he was like saying for a short destination. Because Toyoko was mostly a kind of like person to bring him towards some places. Because yeah, Shinra kind of met him a while ago. So yeah. This is where, well, Shinra says, "No, it's fine, Toyoko-san. You are at least a good man. I'm sorry for your parents, or not parents, your family and your parents not to see you ever again." This is where, well, Shinra does bow down towards the Infernal already disappearing. This is where, well, Shinra then looks up and sees the, well, fire force, mostly the lieutenant saying, "Who are you?" This is where, well, Shinra says, "I am no one, and I am someone. I guess you can say that I'm only a civilian that doesn't really like, I guess, fire force much. Probably because of those fucking laboratory users." Yeah. This is where, well, Obi says, "That was so cool." This is where, well, Shinra says, "Huh? Was it really that cool?" This is where, well, Obi says, "Of course. I want someone like you into my, what's it called, fire force. It seems like you're not even in the suit of being a fire force soldier or anything. So that means you weren't really trained. But your skills and using your, well, fire, what are you anyway?" This is where, well, Shinra says, "From the last time I heard from the laboratory or whatever, I was the 3rd gen. This is where, well, when Obi says, "Then come over to the Company 8. I know that you're not into being a soldier of the Fire 8, but come on. I will, this is where Obi says, give you food? I'll pay for some ramen if you want. This is where Shinra says, ramen? I'm interested. This is where Obi says, yeah, let's go. This is where Shinra starts walking away. And this is where, well, the Lieutenant Habana, or whatever his goddamn name is, kind of looks at the footprint that Shinra left. The devil's footprint. He remembers that because he remembers reading on a report like that. A boy that was pretty young and left the fire force extremely fast because he didn't want to deal with shit like laboratory users and people trying to, well, use him as a laboratory. He remembers even, what's it called, like 1-2 that's able to use smoke and all that. Pissed off Shinra so bad that Shinra beat the fuck out of him. Yeah, Shinra might have been like 8 years old at that time. This is where, well, when Habana sees the footprint, he says, "Devil's footprint. I see. So that's the escape kind of laboratory kid. I see." This is where, when Shinra is kind of eating like ramen with Obi says, "So kid, come on. You wouldn't mind like becoming a fire force kind of in the soldier and all that in Company 8, right?" This is where Shinra says, "I don't see that much of a point. It won't help my goal that much. And my goal is quite different from kind of just protecting people." This is where, he says, "Oh, then what is it?" Finding out why Infernal turned, well, Infernal in the first place. "I want to protect those that I kind of cherish." He kind of says that very quietly. This is where, Obi says, "Then you're in luck, kid. Because Company 8 doesn't really work to protect that many people. It works to find out why people turn infernal, but also to protect those. So I guess your goal could be similar with what's it called, Company 8. This is where, Shinra looks at him and kind of like thinks about it. He knows that he has zero money and all that. He's like, fuck. Well, shit. He needs money anyway. And this is where, he says, "Fine. I decide to tag along with you guys." This is where Obi says, "Yeah." "So, you have any experience with combat?" "Sure I do." "Good. Well, we can sure sign you up into Company 8. Shinra. Like your name, right?" "Yeah, Shinra." "Okay, then let's go." This is where we go into, well, the office of Company 8. This is where, well, they're kind of like signing up Shinra. And this is where the lieutenant kind of brings up Devil Footprint. This is where, Shinra narrows his eyes, thinking that no one will actually figure out that he is one of those kids that kind of escape. Like, kind of like, what's it called? 7 years ago, because you see here, Shinra is 15 right now. This is where, Shinra narrows his eyes and says, "So what if I am Devil Footprint?" "I see. So, you're the generation 3 that one of those kids kind of escaped from that laboratory." There was like 4 other kids that escaped because they didn't want to deal with people kind of experimenting on them. So of course they kind of ran away. And this is where, Shinra says, "So what if I did?" This is where, Lieutenant Habana, whatever says, "Do you even know how to control your 3rd generation?" "Of course, I trained by myself. I needed no one else to train. So why would I need anyone else to train? Those laboratory fucks wanted to just experiment on me. That's why I beat them to the living death." This is where, Habana says, "I see. So you kind of show less mercy to them." Okay. I won't ask any more questions. This is where, Obi says, "That's kind of cool. But still, people that are trying to help you, you rather do anything on yourself to try to get stronger?" "Of course." This is where, he hesitated with that, of course, but he still said it anyway. This is where, Obi said, "Okay, then you're now a new official member to Company 8. This is where, Shinra nodded, and this is where he walks towards the bunk bed that he needs to sleep on, but yeah. This is where, Shinra is kind of like looking around. He sees that some places are kind of damaged in Company 8. So instead of like going to sleep and all that, he decides to kind of repair some stuff. He's kind of like a little bit of a mechanic. This is where he starts kind of fixing a couple things that it's kind of broken by kind of using a special type of flame to kind of weld things. But yeah, this is where when it was actually turning night, so that's why people are kind of hitting the hay bale. This is where Maki and Iris are sleeping. But yeah, this is where Shinra is mostly working. Because you see here, he doesn't seem tired anytime yet or anything. This is where, this bluish flame is coming from his finger. And of course, he fixed a couple things, kind of there, left, right, and all that. This is where when, everyone wakes up the next day, Obi kind of went outside to kind of check on the building to see if anything's kind of needing to repair and all that. He kind of like looks up and says, there's some things that patch up. Maybe the lieutenant did that. I should ask him later when we're in the office. But whatever. This is where Obi kind of goes inside. And this is where, we go into what's it called? Shinra kind of like eating some food and all that. Like he made himself a sandwich and all that, eat it. Of course, this is where he's walking around Company 8. This is where Sister Iris and even what's called Maki are kind of like on top. Kind of like doing like fire stuff and all that. Like seeing how Maki can actually use pyrokinesis second generation. But yeah. Sister Iris is right now just like saying, whoa, you're amazing. What's it called, Maki? This is where, when Shinra is walking around, he kind of noticed one thing. A person just came in, and this is Arthur. Yes. This is where Arthur says, it's been a while, Shinra, also known as Devil. This is where Shinra turns around, and he just remembered Arthur when they were 8 years old. Yes, Arthur did meet Shinra when they were younger. This is where, Shinra says, if it isn't the stupid idiot. This is where Shinra walks away. But this is where Arthur starts trying to attack him. Mostly fight him in hand-to-hand combat. This is where Shinra is blocking some of the stuff and all that. And this is where Shinra punches him and kind of pushing him through a double door. This is where, both Sister Iris and even what's it called, Maki were shocked and someone just flying past him. And this is where Shinra kind of opens the double doors very calmly. And this is where Shinra says, don't be an idiot. It's better if you stop being an idiot and actually stop fighting me. This is where Arthur says, I am the knight. I am the king of the night. I am Arthur, also known as King Arthur. Shinra says, you're clearly more stupider than I remember. I know when we were 8 years old you were stupid, but I didn't expect you to become even more stupid. What, did you lost brain cells when you were fighting against other? I knew you were stupid as hell. This is where, Arthur kind of pulls out his, lightsaber. Yes, I'm going to call it a lightsaber. I know it's called plasma beam. His plasma beam Excalibur. But I'm just calling it a lightsaber for right now. This is where he starts attacking, what's it called? Shinra. And Shinra is dodging to the left, right, down, up. This is where Shinra seems to be easily tracking the movements of, fucking Arthur. But yeah, this is where, Shinra says, attacking me with random attacks doesn't really help. You gotta concentrate. This is where Arthur says, and you think I'm going to listen to a double light? This is where Shinra appears right in, what's called Arthur's guard. This is where he grabs the hand that has Excalibur, mostly the plasma beam and all that. This is where he grabs Arthur from the face, mostly from the kind of chin. And this is where, he then just turns backwards, mostly Shinra, and kind of just tosses him to the ground, smashing him to the ground. That's where, of course, Shinra took the fucking Excalibur while smashing, Arthur to the ground. This is where, Arthur is knocked the fuck out. This is where Shinra says, pathetic. This is where the plasma beam did kind of go back to just being normal. This is where, Sister Iris and even Maki says, what the fuck? This is where, the lieutenant says, he was talking to Obi, and of course I heard the crash, and lieutenant had to go up there. But what Obi and lieutenant was talking about is saying, lieutenant, I didn't know you were gonna fix some stuff like in the building. That's what the lieutenant says. Boom. What is that? Damn it, let me go check on them. That's where the lieutenant rushes and says, what happened? That's where Shinra is kind of like tossing up the plasma kind of sword. Well, it's not active and all that, thanks to Arthur's kind of knocked the fuck out. And this is where, Shinra is tossing it up and down while sitting on the new recruit named Arthur. That's where the lieutenant says, Shinra, what happened? Well, I had to knock the shit out of someone who came here just to piss me off. That's where, well, the lieutenant says, I'm guessing it's that guy behind you. Yes, his name is Arthur. He's a third generation user also. That's where, well, what's it called? Lieutenant says, I see. This is where Arthur managed to push Shinra out of the way because Shinra was just sitting on him. And this is where, well, he says, why? You give me back Excalibur. A devil shouldn't be able to use it. That's where, well, Shinra looks at it and then just tosses it back. Just throwing it back to Arthur. And Arthur catches it and says, I will kill you, you devil. This is where, well, Lieutenant says, so you must be the new recruiter. How about you two versus Maki? Maki says, wait, what? I can't just go against, what's it called, both of them? And the lieutenant says, do it. This is where, well, Shinra, breathes in and out pretty calmly. And this is where, well, Arthur says, I cannot fight a lady. You are a princess, right? This is where Maki says, yeah? Well, she says, huh? This is where, well, Arthur says, blah, 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 blah. He keeps, talking on. And this is where, well, Shinra's kind of getting annoyed. So, of course, what Shinra does is grab Arthur from the shoulder and picks him up and tosses him over the fucking edge. This is where Maki says, Shinra, he's fine. I land him in the trash can. Bang! This is where, well, Sister Iris kind of looked down and sees not Shinra, mostly Arthur right now landing in a dumpster. This is where she says, he's fine. He kind of landed in the dumpster. This is where, well, Maki says, then I'll be fighting against you. You know you need an Arthur. I know I'm just a new recruit, but that doesn't matter. I'll still win. This is where, well, she says, cocky, aren't you? I guess. This is where, well, Shinra appear rushing at, well, Maki, and Maki is just going to go like, let's see who's stronger. This is where she rushes at what's called Shinra, intending to punch him in the face, but this is where Shinra deflected the punch, and this is where another punch came towards his face, but this is where it deflected. This is where he pushed both the arms away, and this is where, well, Shinra appeared really close to, well, Maki's face. This is where Maki goes, her face becomes reddish, and this is where Shinra says, you know, I could easily kiss you, you know that? This is where, well, Maki goes red, and this is where Shinra was only there just to let her down her guard, and this is where, well, Shinra grabs her from the arm, pushes her down, and kind of just puts both of her arms behind her, just like a cop would arrest you and all that. Shinra says, done. This is where, Maki says, what, huh? I made you, make down, well, lower down your guard after kind of saying those words. It's pretty easy to kind of make a strong, beautiful woman like you kind of blush. Just words that makes you kind of feel better. This is where, well, she's like, but, huh? This is where the lieutenant says, pretty good, but can you not say words like that? In a real battle, what happened if it's a dude? I understand. This is where, well, Shinra lets go of Maki and says, this time I won't be using any dirty tricks or anything like that. Full hand-to-hand combat. Maki says, got it. Of course, she's blushing a little bit. And this is where, well, Shinra kind of appears. Right now, about to grab Maki from the face, but Maki managed to dodge. But Shinra is only going extremely slow for her to kind of react. This is where Maki dodges and sends a kick straight to Shinra's back. But this is where, well, Shinra fucking jumped out of the way. Like, he jumped really high up in the air and kind of uses his kind of dollar burst to kind of fly up a little. And this is where Shinra says, he kind of like landed back down on the ground. And so he's cremation burn. This is where, well, his left hand becomes engulfed in these bluish flames. This is where both Maki, Iris, and even Lieutenant say, wait, what? Cremation burn. Wolf creation. This is where he sent a cremation burn by transforming into a wolf. And this is where the wolf is right now rushing at, well, Maki. Maki notices and had to dodge. She was like, what? I don't think I'd be able to kind of control those bluish flames. They're wild, but at the same time able to be controlled. This is where the lieutenant never heard of bluish flames. And the fact that Shinra called them cremation, it's kind of, cremation is a word for blue flame, so of course. He was like, but he's able to control them, transform them into an animal. That's something that's called wolf, right? This is where, well, Lieutenant said. This is where, well, Shinra has the ability to, well, his kind of special generation allows him to bring out blue flames. and also manipulate them into becoming whatever kind of animal he believes into being strong enough. He reincarnated into a wolf just to show off a little bit basic of his power. He needs to make them kind of trust him. So of course, what's a better way than instead of being manipulated to kind of have a little spar? And this is where, well, Maki is trying to dodge the blue flame wolf, and of course she even tries to convert it into being one of the two flames that she usually makes. And this is where she is not able to control it. Every time she tries to use her second generation, it doesn't work on the blue wolf, and the wolf is trying to mostly attack her. This is where, Shinra kind of whistles, and the wolf kind of hears it and comes back to Shinra. Shinra says, "You did good." What's it called? Omega. He calls it Omega. This is where it's mostly a creation that he mostly calls it Omega. This is where you did good, Omega. This is where the Omega wolf kind of howls a little bit, like it does still make noise, and then it just disappears back into just bluish flames, and then disappears into nothing. This is where, Maki says she's still breathing pretty hard because she tried her hardest to try to transform it back. This is where Shinra says, "I see. So anything higher than just normal regular flames is kind of hard for you to control into transforming. Is that right, Maki?" Maki says, "I thought you were gonna use your third generation. Then what is that anyway?" This is where he kind of explodes his hand into bluish flames. This is called Generation Special. I have two of them. This is where, Maki says, "What do you mean two?" "Well, I don't know extremely why I have bluish flames. Unable to control it. I can also use it in my third generation. But I'm able to, this weird generation. I don't know what am I exactly. I could be a fourth generation. Probably something rare. Probably a fifth generation. Don't know. I just call it special generations. But my bluish flames allows me to control them, manipulate them, explode from my hand. Don't need anyone to kind of, create them. I can be the one using them. I don't know. It's like a mixture of second gen and third gen. Don't know. But I don't mind. I call it cremation burn. That's mostly the name that I call it. I don't call it from just a name or this or whatever." This is where, Maki nodded. But this is what she says. "Wait, you said two, but what is the..." This is where, Shinra from his right hand just kind of, because his left hand was almost one, he was kind of just exploding blue flame. He kind of goes to his right hand and says, "Lightning burst." This is where lightning appears and almost shot at, Maki. In high speeds, it kind of go past her and kind of half her hair almost gets singed by the lightning, kind of went up. And of course, somewhat burned and all that. And it just flies past her and hits like a building. This is where, Shinra says, "Oops, sorry about that. I still don't know how to control that much speed." This is where, Maki says, this is where Lieutenant says, "Lightning?" So, like I said, the one that I have, my first one was Cremation Burn. This one is called Lightning, Lightning Strikers. Or not Lightning Strikers, Lightning. This is where, or mostly I call it the Rumble no Mi. Or not Rumble, no. The Rumble. Mostly it's kind of just lightning, meaning, but yeah. Or not lightning, he says the writing. This is where, mostly called lightning, but yeah. This is where, Maki was shocked. She could have easily just taken out by, by Shinra with his special generations that barely they even have any information on. That's where the lieutenant says, "Could you also manipulate that to being like a second to third generation? The lightning one?" Of course. Both of them can be manipulated to the same, like this. That's where he creates the lightning from his hand. He says, "Writing style. Writing manipulation. Elephant." This is where an elephant appears, and it still makes a noise, but of course it's mostly made out of lightning. This is where, Iris is saying, "Whoa, that's so cool." This is where, she says, "Is that an elephant?" Of course, it's an elephant. Since there is a long time multiple animals, I had only learned from them, from only books and other things. So yeah. This is where, he says, what's it called? "Elephant, come here." This is where, the elephant comes. And this is where, he touches it with his right hand, and it is kind of dispersed from lightning and other to the ground. So yeah. This is where, he says, so yeah. Is that all you need, Lieutenant? Lieutenant says, yes. Maki was so shocked. She got defeated twice. This is where, well, she was pretty damn shameful of herself. She was like, damn it. This is where, well, Shinra goes up to Sister Iris and says, do you like the animals? This is where, well, Iris is like, yeah. Her face becomes red because she remembers, what's it called, Shinra kind of holding her to her waist and all that, and she kind of blushes. This is where, well, Shinra says, if you like animals, I can make more animals if you like. This is where she said, it's fine. I don't want you to overuse your abilities. Okay. This is where Shinra gets up and starts walking back to what he was doing mostly. That was just walking around. But yeah. This is where we go into a time skip of, well, kind of what's called an alert of an Infernal appearing. This is where they go towards the kind of house. And of course, Shinra doesn't have weapons because he can create his own weapons with his kind of, well, special generations. He can create a sword or even a scythe. Which is kind of interesting that, well, what's it called, Captain kind of noticed. Obi realized that, well, Shinra can actually have special generations. And these special generations are similar towards a person he kind of heard about. But yeah, but I won't talk about him much for right now. If you already know, you already know. That's what work. Obi says, okay, so Arthur, I need you to put your weapon away. And Shinra, I know that you can create weapons with your special generations and animals and all, but still, you might need a weapon. Shinra says, I understand. This is where he gets the axe and hides it. And this is where, well, Obi already is proud enough that Shinra is respectful and all that. And this is where, well, Arthur says, why would I need to hide my weapon? It wasn't tell me anything. This is where Shinra punches him in the face, saying, you idiot. Do you not know what the call putting Infernals away are? You're basically killing them. If you don't know this, how would people even know about it? People think that we're putting Infernals to rest. That means killing them. But they don't know that. They don't need to know that. They don't need a reason to fucking hate us. This is where, well, Arthur says, I thought a devil didn't know how to fucking know about any human's emotions. Shinra says, call me a devil one more time. I'm about to throw you out of this fucking car, this moving car, and I hope you break all your fucking teeth in the long way when you're rolling. You fuck. This is where, well, Arthur says, oh yeah? I like to see you try. This is where, well, he grabbed Arthur and was about to throw him, and this is where Obi says, wait, stop. I'm surprised you know about that, what's it called, Shinra. I know you weren't much in the fire force, what's it called, training or anything, but you seem to be really respectful for people's lives. Yeah, I am. Shinra kind of becomes quiet, and this is where he lets go of Arthur, but before punching him in the face, knocking him out. This is where Shinra kind of grabs the sword and puts it into what they call his coat. This is where, well, Shinra says, yeah. This is where, well, Obi doesn't know much about, well, Shinra. This is where, well, we go into, well, what's it called? The kind of like, where the house is at. Of course, this is where a girl is crying. This is where, well, Shinra goes up to the girl, says, everything will be fine. We will put your, well, father to rest. He will be living and watching over you. You shouldn't be crying. You should be living on forward. You shouldn't be afraid of turning Infernal. Because your parents will always protect you. This is where, well, she stops sobbing and says thank you. She hugs with Shinra. And of course, this is where, well, both Sister Iris and even Maki kind of get annoyed, but for some reason. This is where, well, Arthur was shocked for even a devil to be able to calm down a girl's, like a young girl crying. Obi was happy. He was like, he didn't know much about Shinra's personality, but can see that Shinra can calm people down pretty easily. Of course, is where, well, no one actually does question about how Shinra can just smile pervertedly when he is kind of nervous. Yes, Shinra still has that same feature of when, yes, anything kind of like, any girl or anything kind of hugs him or anything, he will smile kind of creepily or just anything that's kind of nerves him. But yeah, with a smile. This is where Shinra is trying not to. And this is where, well, she says, thank you. Your smile looks cute. This is where Shinra goes, no it doesn't. It's fine. This is where Shinra gets up and says, don't worry, I'll put out your father to rest, okay? This is where she nods it and she stays strong, okay? This is where, well, Shinra gets into the, what they call, building. And of course, this is where Arthur says, sister, when you do the pray, this is where Sister Iris does it. And this is where, well, they do it. And of course, this is where, like, this, like, black dust or whatever appears. And this is where, well, Shinra notices and say, everyone, now run! This is where everyone was confused, but this is where an explosion of fire, well, an explosion happens. This is where, well, everyone is about to run out. Well, everyone is starting to run out now. While what's it called? Obi's trying to like push the stuff from falling upon anyone. And this is where, well, Shinra noticed the picture of what's it called? The young girl's kind of family. This is where Shinra grabs it. And this is where Obi was about to grab it until well, Shinra was the one to grab it fast enough. This is where, well, Shinra says, Captain, let's go. This is where, well, Obi nodded and started kind of running with what's it called? Shinra. This is where, well, when the house is kind of destroyed a little bit, this is where, well, when Shinra kind of sees the young girl, he says, here, I'm sorry, I couldn't really save your house. Something really happened terribly. But it doesn't matter. You still got your picture of your parents. They will still protect you. This is where she hugs him even more. This is where Shinra says, yeah. He's smiling creepily, but yeah, he's like trying not to. Because this is the worst, what's it called, possible case that he can do. But yeah. But of course that happens. And of course, where, well, we go into a time skip of them being in the office. Well, the next day, mostly. Yeah, so where, well, not us, mostly Shinra is kind of like looking at the papers, kind of reading upon them, doing some work. He's pretty fast. He can actually read it pretty fast and then put the paper. If he's done, not done, done, not done. There's a stack of papers that he's already done with. And it's kind of reaching up to the kind of ceiling. This is where Arthur is right now dying. That's where, well, Maki says, you know what we should do? We should probably, get, well, you two should probably, This is where a call comes on. And this is where, well, a mascot kind of got stuck. But yeah. Or, no. I'm thinking of the, what's it called? Well, not the thing getting stuck in the tree, no. We go into a festival of the rookies kind of being in, well, the different fire forces. The different numbers. Of course, this is where Joker was kind of like out there, yes. He was the one to cause the destruction of the house, but yeah. This is where, well, they get to the festival, and of course, this is where Shinra and Arthur were enrolled. Of course, some of the people who are looking at Shinra were confused. But this is where, when Shinra was looking around, he spots the man that he kind of, well, was on at that place 12 years ago when he was younger. When he was called, like. Okay, Shinra is actually 17, not 15. God damn, I'm an idiot. It's because I'm thinking of mostly Asa's age, but yeah. So where, well, Shinra is like, when he was like, what's it called, so 12 years ago, he would have been, what's it called, the age of, so he was the age of 5 when he kind of met Burner, but yeah. This is where, well, Shinra goes to talk to Burner, and of course, this is where Burner says, you must be one of the new recruits. So, can I help you with something? This is where Shinra says, yeah, I'm just wanting to ask you about what happened 12 years ago. This is where Burner kind of just gives out a random ass question. Well, not a random ass question, mostly a random answer saying that, well, he doesn't know because he has saved multiple people. And this is where Shinra can know that he's hiding something. So this is where, well, he still persists. But this is where, well, Tamaki appears, and this is where Shinra kind of grabs her from, well, one of her drugs. This is where, well, Shinra says, what the hell? This is where Tamaki says, not again! This is where, well, she was about to try to slap, well, Shinra enters, like, grabs her from behind. And this is where Shinra says, This is where he's smiling, still kind of, like, creepily. But this is where, well, he's right now all plushed up. He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? This is where, well, she said, no, my lucky, lewd, what's it called, syndrome He's kicking in again. Damn it! This is where, well, Shinra says, if you are here to distract me, then you did pretty good. This is where Shinra turns around, and right now is bleeding from the nose a little bit. This is where he says, I never actually fucked. Fuck me. This is where, well, we go into, well, the kind of, well, what's it called? The, like, festival. This is where, well, Shinra seems to be emotionless, but he seems to not care that much. Everyone is getting ready, and this is where, well, everyone is kind of like running. This is where, yes, everyone started running, but this is where Shinra is staying back and saying, do I really have to do this, Obi? Obi says, of course, you gotta learn how to save people. Fine. This is where Shinra starts running, and this is where he activates his Adola burst and just flies up, right now going to the top. This is where, well, he enters to one of the windows, and he's looking around until he meets Joker. Joker says, hello there, devil. Shinra just walks past him and says, yeah. Good job in saving those people. Whatever. I gotta go save more people. This is where, well, Joker says, hey, look over here, brat. You can't just ignore me, can you? This is where Shinra says, wait, you're not an actual... I swear to God, I thought that's what they had it to look like. He looks closer at Joker, and Joker looks completely nothing like, the Fire Force kind of inspectors or whatever. That's where Shinra says, oh, you're not from here. Hey, at least you found 2 people. Can I just take those people and just, like, go get points or whatever? Or Joker says, don't you want to know about your brother? You know, I can help you with your brother and blah, blah, blah. That's where, well, Shinra kind of, like, breathes in and out. Looks at, well, Joker with these murderous eyes. And, of course, well, he says, whoa, I'm just here to... Before he even gets to tell anything, Shinra appears right now, very fast, with his feet kind of being on fire. Doesn't work, well, he says, I see, so the devil footprint is angry. You think I don't know where your brother's at? I can tell you. Doesn't work, well, Shinra kind of tries to kick at, well, Joker. Joker dodges, but didn't dodge a punch to the face. So, of course, Joker gets smashed to the, like, what's it called, wall. It doesn't work, well, Joker says, you're pretty fast and talented in fighting. You're pretty interesting. But I'll tell you some things if you give me such a fun challenge. Fun, interesting battle. This is where he says, come on, devil. Fight me. This is where, well, Shinra is starting to fight him. And, of course, Shinra is mostly using his Adola burst and all that. And, of course, where he's saying, whoa, you're pretty fast and good with those Adola bursts. That's where Shinra appears with his left hand, pointing straight towards Joker, and Joker says, well, am I supposed to give you a high five? Cremation burn, burning rage. This is where blue flames appear, and Joker had to dodge extremely fast. There's no way those hell flames were about to just burn his ass. This is where Joker says, what the? That isn't normal. No, that isn't something your Adola burst can do, can it? That's where, well... Shinra says, so that's what my, what's it called, 3rd generation ability is called, Adola burst. I know the one that I just shot at you wasn't called an Adola burst. Good to know that you gave me information about that. So, I almost burned you. You got a little stinge right there in your clothing. That still counts as a hit. Probably your skin's a little bit burnt also, so still counts as a hit. You gonna tell me about my brother or not? And this is where, well, Joker smiles, saying, you're pretty interesting. This is where, well, Shinra says, okay, so you're not going to tell me. Fine. This is where Shinra points his finger and says, lightning piercing shot. This is where Joker says, what do you mean? He gets shot in the arm. This is where Joker says, my... He feels his, like, arm being paralyzed, his right arm. This is where Joker says, I see, dangerous as you can ever be for being a devil. Stop calling me a devil. I am none other than, well, my name isn't Devil or Shinra, but my name is... This is where Shinra stinks. What's the opposite of a hero? This is where Shinra kind of asks Joker. Joker says, the opposite of a hero? Devil. No. Like, the opposite is like being a hero. Instead of being a hero saving people, I still save people, but instead of doing the whole heroic, courageous, whatever bullshit. Joker says, anti-hero? I'm an anti-hero. I'm gonna fuck you up, and I'm gonna get the information out of you one way or another. That's why, well, Joker smiles and says, So, do I call you an anti-hero devil? This is where Shinra says, do you want to be murdered? I feel like you just want to be burnt as a fucking crisp. Stop calling me a devil, or I'm gonna kick your ass so hard that you're just gonna fly across the fucking moon. This is where Joker smiles and says, good to know. So, I'll tell you a little about your brother. But, tell me, what is that ability you can able to use? Lightning and blue flames. That is a little secret that I have to keep by myself. You're gonna have to figure out. But, I'll give you a little clue. It's called fuck you. Doesn't matter what it is. Now tell me about my brother. Somewhere, well, Joker smiles and says, interesting. I'll find out one way or another. Somewhere, well, he says, your brother is still alive. Sho is still alive. He's with some people that you might find out interesting in the near future. That's where Joker disappears, but yeah. But before Joker leaving, he starts kind of like putting smoke all around and all that. And of course, well, Joker was about to leave until both was Takamaki and even Arthur appear saying, I see an enemy. Arthur starts attacking the enemy, but this is where, well, smoke started sparing mostly the what's it called, ashes and all that. And this is where, well, explosive ashes. This is where, well, Shinra screams at them saying, come on, get out. Make a hole in the fucking ceiling. We gotta get out of here. This place is about to explode. This is where, well, Takamaki kind of helps what's it called, Archer about his perfect fucking triangle cut, but yeah. This is where, well, Shinra says, come on, get on. This is where, well, Takamaki and also Archer gets on while Shinra got, well, the other two. This is where he explodes with flames and has a dollar burst. He knows he isn't gonna make it, so of course he starts adding his bluish flames. Combining with the dollar burst, making the flames kind of become like a purplish color. Yes, the bluish and orangey flames are turning into a purplish color, making it faster. But this is where, when he made it a little too fast, they're right now falling from the sky. This is where Shinra grabs the two unconscious, and this is where he was about to get Arthur until he kind of just like says Takamaki to grab him. This is where Takamaki grabs him, and this is where, well, Arthur says, what about me? Go fuck yourself. Hope you die, you fuck. And this is where Arthur says, wow, I help you. And this is where, well, Shinra lands down thanks to him stopping. And this is where, well, Takamaki says, thank you. This is where, well, with Arthur, he falls down, and this is where Obi says, land with graceful. This is where Arthur says, how would I land with graceful? He smashes the ground, and this is where Monkey says, who are you calling a gorilla? Cyclops! This is where Arthur says, I didn't say that! But yeah, this is where, well, everyone is shocked and kind of laughing, but yeah, this is where, well, Shinra now knows that his brother's alive. Mostly Sho is alive. This is where, well, Takamaki saying, thank you, you pervert. This is where, well, Shinra says, again, it wasn't my fault that I kind of grabbed you from those places. How would I know that you were going to distract me? This is where, well, she said, it wasn't distraction, it was something that I kind of have. What, do you have some kind of lucky lewd, what's it called, lucky lewd, syndrome or what? She said, yes. This is where, well, Shinra says, please get away from me. I don't want you to do that ever again, but this is where Shinra is kind of bleeding from his nose a little bit, and this is where, well, he's smiling. This is where, well, he kind of like puts his shirt up and kind of like tries to cover it, but yeah, he says, I'm gonna just go. This is where Shinra walks away, and this is where he gets the two unconscious people to the like medical room, but yeah. This is where Burner says, let's go, Takamaki. Takamaki says, got it, sir. Of course, follows him, but yeah. This is where Burner can see that Shinra is very powerful, able to escape an explosion building, but yeah. This is where, well, Shinra shares what's called information with what's called Obi about what happened, and yeah. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, an Infernal appearing in the judge area. That one kind of firefighter, but yeah. Firefighter. So yeah. Of course, where, well, when Shinra and Arthur gets there, Arthur still rides on Shinra. Shinra wanted to just toss Arthur down, but yeah, instead of tossing Arthur down, when they get there, instead of Shinra kicking the Infernal, he throws Arthur at the Infernal, smashing into the Infernal, right now rolling down, and this is where, well, the Infernal says, hey, what was that? This is where Archer fucking backhand this man, right now, smashing into the, well, what's it called? Across the courtyard, but yeah. This is where the Infernal gets angry and says, ugh, I see, so you people are here. Yes, the, what's called the Fire Force Company 8 as you appear, so yeah. Of course, it worked. Well, OP tells Shinra to kill the Infernal even if it's talking. And that's where Shinra says, got it, I'll murder it. This is where, well, he seems to be very cold when he said that. This is where, well, the lieutenant says, do it. This is where, well, Shinra disappears right now, flying pretty fast towards, well, what's called the Infernal's location. This is where the Infernal's right now causing chaos. And this is where he's saying, you people will never win against me, you weaklings. This is where, well, when, what's it called, yeah. When he was about to, like, kill some humans, this is where, well, Shinra appears, right now just smashing down to the ground, saying, when there is need to help, when there is villains like you, I will save those who need help, and I will murder those who are evil like you. This is where, the firefighter says, don't you mean that you gotta save those that you need and stop me from killing? This is where Shinra says, bitch, I'm a fucking anti-hero. I don't need to listen to rules like that. This is where, well, the firefighter says, wait, what? He gets smashed through the stomach. What a very powerful punch. This is where, well, Shinra starts fucking uppercutting his shit, fucking beating his ass, kicking him in the stomach. And this is where, well, he gets smashed to the car, mostly in the Infernal, and the Infernal throws the car at, well, Shinra. Shinra kicks it up, and this is where he launches it at, well, the Infernal. The car almost crashes down, and this is where Shinra lands there, and of course, fire is kind of coming out from his feet. This is where the Infernal says, devil. Again, anti-hero, bitch. This is where, what's it called? Shinra said. Should I say I'm an anti-hero? Villain? A hero killer. No. Hero hunter. This is where, well, the Infernal says, what? So if I'm a hero hunter, that means I gotta chase you down, you Infernal fuck. This is where, oh, the what's it called? Infernal says, huh? This is where, well, Shinra appears right now, smashing the leg down, and this is where before Shinra was about to kill him. This is where, well, Company 8, not Company 8, Company 5 appears, and this is where, well, right now, Sakura petals are kind of like flowing down, since this is, well, what was her name? Goddammit. This is where Hibane, well, yeah. So, the lieutenant that's in Company 8 is called Hinowa, while what's it called? This person is saying Hibane, or Habana, or whatever. Habana, yeah. This is where she says, I see. So you're the double user. This is where, well, she says, but this is going to be an experiment for us. This creature. This is where, well, Shinra says, wait, you're gonna capture him, just research on him? Okay. This is where Shinra isn't really affected with the fire that's kind of like giving him a heat stroke or whatever. That's where Shinra just walks away. This is where Habane says, aren't you supposed to fall down or fight me or whatever? That's where Shinra says, no. Do I? I'm an anti-hero. Sure, I'll rush at you. This is where Shinra starts running at them. Of course, not adding fire because it's raining. And this is where, well, Habane says, I see. This is where, well, Shinra passes through them. And right now fights all the, what's called, other Company 5. Beating their ass, and even the old man just fucking kicking him in the head, saying, get out of my way, bitch. He wants to kill the fucking Infernal. The Infernal saying, help! No, I don't want to die. Die, you bastard. This is where he rips one of his arms off and says, you think you're gonna win? I'll rather cut your arms off. You fucking bitch. This is where Habana appears right now, sending fire and rose petals to push Shinra away, while she realized that, well, Shinra is definitely dangerous as hell. This is where, well, Shinra was about to send a cremation burn from his hand, until, well, Company 8 appears. This is where Company 5 kind of talks to Company 8, but yeah, and this is where, well, that one bubblegum user, who did get his ass beat because, yes, Shinra did kick the shit of him, was talking shit about Obi and all that, and this is where, well, Shinra appears, right now, crackling his arms, right now, with lightning. And of course, it sounds like he's just cracking his, like, fingers and all that, but this is where, well, it's crackling with lightning, but this is where, well, Monkey punched him in the stomach, give him a lap, a love tap. And this is where, well, he is knocked out, but yeah. this is where, well, that dude is knocked out. This is where everyone, like Company 8, decides to go back. But yeah, Iris decides to go to Company 5, just like on original canon. But yeah. But this is actually where I'm going to leave it off for Part 1 of What If Shinra has special generations. Part 1. Part 2 will probably come out whenever, but this is Part 1. Bye-bye, and good night.